Alright, I'm back. And it occurs to me that since I'm going to potentially be waiting here for a little bit, for these hops to come in, it would be really nice if I could get another shuttle that's mostly just for sending out a small crew to do some of these like other nearby minor things. Somewhere I not expect them to be gone for more than like a few hours. I have 16 tiles to work with. How much does it take to fit a shuttle? It takes 15, technically. If I'm not worried about it being on the outside of the ship. It doesn't generally get targeted, so that's not necessarily a huge problem. I'd prefer it inside. It'd be really nice if I could move these things somewhere else, just to get them out of the way, and turn this spot into another shuttle pad like I have over here. I do technically have the ability, I think, to expand up here. Yeah. I could make some little bulges up here. I don't know if I'd have enough space, though. How much does this take up? That'd be 12. Means I could get one more set of 4. That'd be a tight fit, to say the least. There are those wasted tiles on the sides, though. Let's see, if I were to move this up here, it'd be like that. So, would have to bulge out a little bit. I think if there's any way I could find a spot, it's that interaction square that makes this so awkward. Is you end up with these squares on either side that are really hard to actually utilize for anything else. It'd be nice if I could find somewhere where I could kind of nestle that into a corner somewhere. But I don't have to spend as much just space. I guess I've got that telescope set up as well. If I were to have that set up like that, and the telescope like that. Yeah, not there obviously, but just to kind of compress that a little bit, that would save some space. It'd still be the issue. Now, let me clear that out. This whole thing I think is, oh no, it's 15. So I could actually, I have 16 tiles. If I just made one little expansion for this, and I could find a way to squeeze the interact square in somewhere, I could actually fit that. It's just that interaction square that's such a pain in the ass. I do want to keep the ship symmetrical as well, but kind of a minor thing. Doesn't really matter, it just looks better that way. It seems like I'd have to drop one of my solar panels, and I don't really want to do that. I like that right now, I only have one of these chem fuel generators actually running. Because all my other power is coming from these things and the solar, and none of these things over here take any fuel of any kind. They just produce electricity. It's really nice to not have that much constant drain on fuel, since if I'm up in space for a long time, I have to supply that fuel, and that usually means using some of my rice to make, I guess, rice wine vinegar or something, or rice wine for fuel, and yeah, that reduces the amount I have available for food. I'm hoping to, once I get that next grav core, just eliminate all of my fuel usage entirely. It'll be great. I guess for now, do I have space on the nose at all? Not really. I guess I don't really have a spot right now to build a shuttle pad that would still keep things symmetrical. That's too bad. Well, this part, the telescope and my orbital scanner, I don't even need the orbital scanner right now, to be frank. So I could just get rid of that entirely. And And then move my long-range mineral scanner into some ugly asymmetrical pseudopod over here somewhere. Like that. Set the telescope up over there as well. Man, it's a shame that this thing is so damn big. I don't really need it right now. I suppose I could just get rid of it, but I do use it fairly often. This thing allows me to spend some time, some research time, to scan for a specific metal. So like if I need more plasteel or uranium or gold or whatever, I can scan for that particular metal, and it generates a site that will show up on the overworld that you can go to that is guaranteed to have a decent-sized chunk of that material. So it's a very useful thing to have access to. Let me turn this generator off and see if I even need... Oh, here, I can turn one of these solar panels. Well, I can't actually turn one off. I thought I could disable it. I have to deconstruct it. I could deconstruct one of the solar panels for a little while and just see how that operates. I'll turn this generator off first. See if I even need any fuel being burnt right now. I'm trying to think of how else I could potentially... Whoa. Oh, playing some piano. How else I could expand the ship in a way that would allow me to move these out of this spot. I could potentially shift these down a little bit. I do like being able to access my engines pretty safely. Have to be like all the way down here. Guess that would fit. This thing's just so awkwardly large. And it's that damn interact spot. Makes it so especially awkward. I guess my batteries don't technically need to be inside of the ship. In fact, I don't actually have... I mean, they need to be protected, but they don't need to be, like, super protected. They don't need to be in pressurized areas. I don't even have vents in there, so under normal circumstances, those can already become depressurized and stay depressurized. Probably should have vents. In retrospect. That spot doesn't necessarily need to have a door. Can I move those engines much? I can move these engines a decent amount. So if I were to move this over here somewhere, leave that door. Nah, I don't love that. I could also just use my next grav core to get some more tiles to play with. If I had more tiles to play with, in addition to, you know, any little expansions for another shuttle pad, I could also add on some turrets on the side over here, like a little pod that sticks out. To have some like long-range turrets instead of just my little rocket turrets. They've got these uranium slug things. They've got a lot of reach. It'd be pretty nice to have something somewhere on the ship that was just providing a little bit of extra covering fire. In fact, I could even have it set up. Well, no, I guess I don't have enough coverage down here. I could expand horizontally and move this engine away and have those uranium slug turrets down on the tail. Because I do like that generally when I land, if I have the tail pointing towards the threat, especially if I already have some people standing in these doors ready to fire the turrets, that I can land and the ship itself provides a lot of just like instant threat and cover fire. Having some big ass turrets that we're able to fire over here as well would be pretty slick. If I were to move this engine out over here somewhere, then I could have a turret kind of nestled in this spot here to provide some long-range cover fire. That'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, maybe I should just use my next grav core to get more tiles to play with. I think it's like 250 per grav core that you add. That would allow me to expand, get those turrets, and I could also add some extra space like up here in the corners to move my various long-range scanner things out of here to turn this into another shuttle bay. Oh, for now, I'll just build some little like temporary offshoot. It's going to be ugly. But I'll just build some little temporary offshoot off to the side here, just to have another shuttle pad so I can have that extra shuttle going. Keep the shuttle empty other than for like maybe some medicine, and I could move the bedrolls into it and have it just be my little mission runner for now. Put it up on the nose. That way, when people are loading it, they can come in, use this door to load it up. Oh no, I shouldn't do that actually, because if I land in space or over deep water or whatever, I might not be able to actually get to the shuttle. I need to have it be accessible internally. Cancel that. Then again, I don't really have a spot for that. Damn it. Well, I can make some horrible little bulge over here that will just be for the sake of moving this scanner equipment out of the way, and I'll put the shuttle over there. How many is that? 15. Yeah, we'll build that up because I can move these walls out. I guess I can, was it 16 tiles I had? Yeah, 16 tiles. Grab that tile there so I can extend the wall up and around, and I should be able to fit some stuff there. Just not going to be pretty. Deconstruct those, reconstruct those. Orbital scanner generates orbital locations, kind of like what, oh, I got to get rid of that roof. Kind of like what the long-range scanner does, but you don't get to pick what it's looking for. It's just random. So it's not really as useful as the other one. It makes a space-based location, which is nice, because my guys do prefer to be in space when possible. But since I don't really get to pick what it generates, it's a little more limited. I just wish that stupid interact spot were off to the side. That'd just make my life easier. Because I'm not going to have a spot to put my telescope over here, since it can't overlap. Unless, that's all my tiles though, isn't it? Yep. On the nose. That's a shame. Is there any way I can make this more efficient? I could cut into here, but I don't really want to breach my biosculptor pods. I want those available for emergencies, and also just so that my people can do the various things that one does in those pods. I could drop one tile up here. I'd take that corner tile off. And then I guess I could add a corner tile here. Yeah, that works, technically. So I got to remove... Oh no, that foundation needs to stay. Got to remove this foundation, remove this wall, build a foundation in that corner. That'll do it. It's going to be especially ugly, but it will get the job done. Wait a minute. How am I over capped? Oh, it just picks one. Ooh, that's dangerous. Definitely got to fix that sooner than later. Build that wall there. Remove that foundation. Biscotti. Squirrel, you can do it. Oh, that's interesting. Do I not actually need my corner pieces? Ooh. That's very interesting. It seems kind of risky to take my corner pieces off, but it does appear to actually still be sealed. Let me try it over here on my try it on the Biosculptor pod thing over here. Because if I can remove all my corners, that does save a good handful of tiles. That'd be nice. Deconstruct. Guess I can try it over here, but that's already not enclosed, so it'll be hard to tell. So if I then remove this foundation, does that just work? It does. This still is enclosed, right? Yeah, still counted as cramped, which implies that it's indoors. Very cool. All right, that's nice. Guess I'll be removing some corners. I'm curious as to what that's even going to look like. I think those are all the corner tiles, right? Take these out. You know, I'm actually going to keep those rear ones. Fuel storage, having a little bit of extra like physical buffer there just seems like a good idea. That fuel storage is always making me nervous. This is kind of hard to parse. I guess that would be the corner. Let's see what that looks like after I take those foundations off. That doesn't look bad. It looks sketchy, but I mean, once those foundation tiles come off, it fills in. A little weird, but I guess it's just a consequence of there being a foundation tile there, which there needs to be in order for me to move my telescope into position. Oh, right, there's a roof there now, too. Oh, that means I don't need a foundation tile there either. Or do I? No, I don't. So the structure will do a wall here, and that means I can get rid of this tile and that tile. Yeah. Start moving this stuff over there. This is going to be a nice, ugly, but nice little extension here. Deconstruct. I'm just going to get rid of my orbital scanner for now. Move the chair over. Clear that roof zone out. Why is it not letting me do it? Architect. Zone. Remove roof area. Oh, it is removed. Okay, that's why. Move my telescope over here. Move the chair over there. And then remove these two tiles. Odyssey. Remove foundation. Bop, bop. It's just kind of weird looking. Let's see if that works though. I think that's going to work. Yep. Sweet. Turn that to plastic. I'm just going to leave it off for now though. I don't really need a plasteel chunk. I feel like I've got stuff to go after already. So I just need to turn it off. And then, for the sake of beautification, drop these hex tiles in here. Costs a lot of steel, but it looks nice. And steel is just not really an issue. I suppose it would make sense to have a light over here as well. Well, no. It's over. Yeah, I know what I'll do. I will add a tiny little bit of roof. Build roof area just over the chairs. And then I'll have a little light on the wall over here. There we go. That should work. Now let's see. Can I have anyone... Oh, right. I've got to build my other shuttle and shuttle zone. I like having this stockpile zone set up where it has the stockpile, but it's set up to not actually allow anything there. Mostly just so that when the shuttle unloads and the stuff gets dropped on the floor, it's in a stockpile, so it does count towards my inventory. But since it's not allowed to be in that stockpile, everyone is kind of like incentivized to go and move it to somewhere else, somewhere more relevant. Drop that in there. I've had that other shuttle engine for a while. It'll be nice to actually put it to good use. So I think there's a few things around that I can potentially pop over and take a look at. Ancient Mechanitor Complex. I don't really want to turn anyone into a Mechanitor right now, so I might not bother with that. But there's these other little ancient complexes I can pop in and take a look. Because I'm not doing anything else. Oh, that one's got a quest involved. Oh, some of these other ones do too. Ancient Structure Heist. Secret Structure Caper. Hidden Installation Looting. Doesn't really tell me what it is. I don't know how big those are either. Launch sites I've seen. They are just mostly fuel, at least the one that I saw was. Not too interested in that one. Turn this machine table off to save power. Oh, it's going to have Mal work on this, but she's already doing it. Perfect. I'm going to keep these corner tiles in my fighting area as well, since these just, they're going to get beat up. It's already set to load. What am I making fuel out of right now? Is it still wood? Yeah. Wood is still set as my primary. That's good. 4 days left until I can do that party. Hops are coming along. I'll probably get to harvest those. That will be nice. I had that seal skin come in too. How much did I end up with? 90. Would have preferred a little bit more, but that's okay. Can at least make one top hat out of that. Okay, that one's ready to go. I do want to get some amount of like medical supplies in here, because if I'm going to use this mostly just for little sorties, then combat seems like a distinct possibility. Probably should get some survival meals in there as well, just so I've got something to potentially survive on, you know, for a little while. Not that heavy. Load in, say 60 of them. Get 5 medicine, 60 survival meals. Load up some tea. Not a ton, just put like 20 of them in there. Get some herbal medicine in there as well. Yeah, like 20 of those. Probably don't want to bother with Glitter World medicine. If things are that bad, it's probably a done deal already. I'll put some extra Go Juice and some extra Wake Up. In fact, we'll do 6 and 6. I could actually build a mortar and have a mortar in there that I could unload and utilize, you know, like on site. Shit, where'd all my plasteel go? That's unfortunate. That looks pretty good though. I'll have some silver on board too. Never know when you might need some silver. And I will put on some extra fuel so I can do a full refuel out in the field if necessary. 66 kilos. That's not too bad for traveling supplies. Oh, an eclipse. See, this is why it's nice to still have these chem fuel generators available. Because this greenhouse light uses a horrendous amount of power. 2,900 watts. My total grid. Each one of these things is producing 1,000, I think. Oh, those are 12. But still, that's a huge percentage of my total power output without the solar to help it out. It only runs during the day, so the solar is really good for helping it out. It's kind of funny to absorb light from the sun to illuminate a room that I explicitly put a roof over, but that just ends up being a good idea when the temperature is unreliable and you've got like toxic fallout and all kinds of bullshit in the outside. Outdoors is the worst. Do I have my air conditioners running? I don't. Probably should. It's somehow staying cool enough inside though. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe just leaking from my freezer? I don't know why it's 81 out. Must have just been cooler days before. I wasn't really paying attention to the temperature. But yeah, I can turn on these chem fuel generators for now. Oh, masterwork. That was the seal hat, wasn't it? Yes. I'm going to load that up. Yeah, that's a good amount of money for one hat. In fact, what am I doing on textiles? Should I make another wave of hats and go and do some trading while I wait? Heavy fur, I've got that rhino leather, but I want to save that for my own purposes. Which I suppose, if I am going to use rhino leather for making my own clothes and whatnot, I could use up some of this other stuff to make some hats, make some pigskin hats. Yeah, 3 pigskin hats. And I guess 10 regular leather hats. 13 hats total. Got this blue fur as well. I think that... yeah, $2.30. That's not bad. We'll just do the leather and the pigskin for now, though. So it was 3 pigskin. And then the leather, where is it? I've got it set up for 500, so that's 10, so it's 13 total. Yeah. And there it is. The leather and the pigskin. 13 hats. Mal's just not really busy right now. Guess I can be picking up some more wood as well. The supply topped off since I'm about to burn a lot of fuel with this eclipse. Looks like the grid is holding for now. Yeah, and I've got a bunch of excess since now it's late enough into the day where that sun lamp is turned off for the day. Let the plants rest. Of course is a cousin of Mal. Mal has more cousins than there are people on this planet somehow. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Just like every ally that I run into, and every enemy that I run into, has an extremely high chance to be a cousin of Mal. It's just silly. I should probably set this up to have a little bit more in the way of amenities if she's going to be eating in there. People get so pissy if they eat without a table. I suppose I can have a light source in here as well. Furniture, wall lamp. Put it over the fish. No, she's actually pulling in an okay amount. Oh, there's also this muffalo. Yeah, maybe I should hunt those. And get that blue fur, turn it into even more hats. Sandstone meteorite. Okay. Oh, crushed a rabbit. Rest in peace, rabbit. Giant block of limestone falling from space. Yeah, I'll build some more graves too. I'll have Sammy help out Biscotti. I'll pull in Larissa as well. Just have the whole crew of my kind of best fighters just come over here and just take these dudes out. In fact, Cornbread, you can help too. In case these things decide to get froggy. This is going to be a massacre. Sammy, hit that one. Biscotti. That one. Sammy, continue firing. Here it comes. That's why I wanted to have some help. Honestly, though, this is just kind of useful. It makes all of them come to me, where it's more practical to kill them. There we go. So honestly, that's just for the best. Looks like one escaped, but only kind of. Scotty's range is large. Take it out, Biscotti. Nice. Have her grab it since she's already pretty far out. Mal is real good at making those top hats. Oh, inspired taming on Thorn. Of course, what is Thorn's animal skill? 3. Not much. I don't think you can tame a whole lot with a skill of 3. Maybe a horse? Because if you can tame a horse, that'd be good training. Minimum handling skill 3. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have him do that. It's a little risky since he's got to go out into the wild. But probably worthwhile. Good luck, Thorn. Be nice to be able to have Slicer follow him around, but I think Slicer requires a certain amount of taming before they can... Yeah, you need to have at least level 5 animals in order for Slicer to follow you, in order for you to be its master. Good luck, Thorn. So you don't need it. I think you literally can't fail. There it is. Now slaughter it. You've gained its trust. Show it how cruel the world can be. Good job. Actually gave very little experience. That's disappointing. Oh well. It's good life experience if it's not good like XP experience. Set him back to home. Just keep him from going too far. I will leave him on training though, or on handling. Because I think he can use that to try to train up Slicer. And I don't really care if he fails that. There's just not a whole lot of risk involved. Not good enough to really start on any of these other tasks just yet. He could be fishing. He could be fishing. I could make... Yeah, I'll expand the fishing spot. Fishing, I think, trains up animals, and it takes a lot of time, which is usually pretty good when it comes to training. You can go and hang out with Larissa over here. Give her some company. One downside of fishing is that it seems like once somebody starts fishing, they will continue fishing until they have caught something in that first, like, attempt to fish. And that can lead to some dumb situations where they just stand there for, like, a million years just waiting for that fish to happen and end up just wasting too much time. But he could fall behind in his studies because of that. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Get another chair set up. There's also the downside that with this space being available, what is it supporting? Okay. With the second space being available, instead of sitting on the chair like, you know, a logical person would do, they might end up just standing in the water. I don't know why that happens sometimes. I don't really want this to be a gather spot. I just want it to be a spot where people can eat if they're already over here. Get those floors in too, just for the sake of completion. Alright, Thorn, you are now clear to fish. Oh wow. Full up on meats. That is going to have to go. I don't like those yellow packaged survival meals because they don't stack with my other ones. And they're just kind of taking up space. It's annoying. How are we doing? Pretty good on meals. It's nice when people can just eat the lavish stuff. Another masterwork. Nope, Travelers Convention's coming up. Hopefully it stays calm. Getting pretty close to be able to do this dance party as well. Good stuff. And how are those hops coming? 38%? Not bad. Might actually end up with too much rice. Guess I can always switch this over from wood to rice just to not cut into my wood supply. I've got plenty of wood, but it can get to the point where it's just too much rice. Where I have nowhere to put it. I mean, I generally would prefer it to be in the freezer because it does rot eventually. It's just that it lasts a pretty long time, so it's often okay if I can just keep it on these outer shelves when I have too much of it. Are those top hats done? Yes. Let's go ahead and load those up. I can send Larissa out to do some trading, see what I can get. I'll probably just buy some plasteel. If I've got the mass, at least. Yeah, I've got some space in the shell. I can probably find some plasteel. That way I don't have to bother scanning and mining it. I can just go and purchase it with my great wealth of top hats. Where do I want to go, though? Got this one. Guess I've already been to them. This one has restocked, so that would be a good option. And that looks like it. I guess I could do like a hop over to this one. They're still restocking too. Yeah, I'll pop over here. Larissa. Oh, can I not reach? I can't reach. God damn it. I've got to do a hop off of something. Ew, I don't like doing that. Just land somewhere inconspicuous and hope that she does not get hassled since she's all alone. I guess she can call in help in an emergency. And I do have that other shuttle now, so I could actually deploy like everybody if I needed to. Alright, what do we got? Buy me some guinea pigs. I'll need to use some of my chem fuel just to get back, I think. 175 human leather for sale. Okay. Joints. Those anti-grain warheads that are just constantly making me nervous. Plasteel, there we go. Grab some plasteel. Pretty good on uranium, honestly. Word of Love is a very nice thing to have, but Sammy's already got it. I don't know if I would need another one. Word of Inspiration is also nice, but already have that available. I don't think I need another one. My guys end up being inspired so much that it's not always practical to use. You can't inspire someone who's already inspired. Sounds like a single target version of that AoE thing I have. That wouldn't be bad. A little more control over it. If I've got money to burn, I'll probably pick that up. That neuro calculator again is an option. Nothing else is really jumping out at me though. Sell off my worn out locust armor. I can sell off that grenadier armor as well. No, I'll hold on to that one since it's got some life left in it still. And then the top hats. They're a little light on funding this time. Looks like I'm gonna have to buy something. Get that berserk after all. Pick up some more jade. I'm running a little bit low on mass at this point. I could always sell off some of this kind of extraneous textile. Some of this stuff I just don't really use very often. I'll pick up some jade. Jade's nice to have. It's not a big deal to have, but it's nice to have for when I need to make something pretty. Yeah, that'll work. So now I've got a refuel from cargo. And that should give me enough to get back home. Oh, paused. I wonder. Just waiting for that launch cooldown to end, but it does not progress if it's paused. So you just bounce off of some innocuous spot again. And there we go. I think I will actually unload the bedrolls from this thing, since I don't really expect to go camping from this one very much. And load those into my other shuttle that might actually need them if they're gone for maybe like a day or something like that. Where are they? Guess I've got to unload the other stuff I just bought too. Let's get rid of that plasteel, the jade. Bioferrite, I forgot I had that in there. I guess I just had that in there to get it out of the way. Where's that trainer? Berserk. There are the bedrolls. Those are pretty nice if you just need to set up a sleeping spot out in the field. Just to have something to make it a little bit nicer. Oh, I thought I got rid of all the top hats. Guess not. But who gets Berserk? Sammy. Yes, I've got this Berserk Pulse. 65 heat's a lot. I mean, you can see it flashing there on the heat bar over here. It's a lot of heat. So if there's a single target one that hopefully doesn't take as much, it'd be pretty nice. Sammy has the skip, so he can bounce people around. She's got the stun. I'll have her get the Berserk. Undraft Sammy. They can both do the pulse. There. Now she's got the power to make people crazy. She's got to get those bedrolls loaded up over here now. I always have a hard time finding them. Go ahead and reload that fuel in the cargo too. I just like having that 400 there, so I've got that full refuel if I need it. And fuel is cheap enough for me now. Oh, speaking of which, I can turn these off. Fuel's cheap enough for me now that even if I have to like just dump that fuel in the ground somewhere to save weight, it's not the end of the world. Oh, right, I never actually switched the rice. I'm going to do that now. Mostly just so I don't inadvertently run out of wood and not notice and then fly off to somewhere that doesn't have wood before I realize it. Any research I can do while I'm just waiting? None of this stuff is super relevant. Since all these generators, I just leave, so be leaving them behind, not super useful. Same thing with the moisture pump, that's more for like terraforming an area. Gun link is cool, gives you more accuracy with your firearms, but it takes up your helmet slot, which I don't love. Could learn beam weapons. They're not good against robots because they mostly are heat damage with them being lasers. But this, both of these are kind of cool weapons. Yeah, might as well. Oh, I guess Lyris is doing fishing. Yeah, fuck it. Thorn can do fishing. I'll turn these on. I don't think I'll use any of these pulse weapons. I know my guys don't like the charge rifles because those are a light weapon for some reason. Which is too bad because those are pretty good. A lot of damage. Charge lance. I guess the charge lance hits even harder. They do hit really hard. 30 damage per shot. Long cooldown. What kind of damage do they do? I guess it doesn't say. Probably sharp though. I think it's pretty much just the lasers and the flamethrowers that do heat damage. The range 33. I guess this is more like an assault rifle as far as the profile that you'd shoot it at. It's only shooting one shot instead of a 3-shot burst. How much damage do the assault rifles do per shot? Oh, that's that special one. Guess I would need to look over here to see kind of the default assault rifle. 11 damage with 3-shot bursts. Same total damage. These fire more often. Very slightly less range. Yeah, I probably just won't be using those. I like my current stuff. 9th of September. I think the Traveler Convention's on the 10th. Did I do it? Yeah, so I can do that in the next day. Got some fish coming in. Is Thorn still staying? Yeah, he's still getting his studies in. Okay, yeah. That's good. So he'll get some animal training from fishing. I don't really use animals a lot, but it is nice to have the option for when that pops up. In the meantime, I suppose I can have my guys go out and search one of these structures just to see what they're about. Though I probably should start that tomorrow. It's really easy when you send someone out on a mission to lose track of time, and then they, before you know it, are starving to death and about to fall asleep. Not ideal. Little throne speeches are just kind of a nice mood boost and social cohesion boost. As long as the speech ends up being okay, which it tends to. My guys are pretty good at it. Larissa probably can do hers as well, but I like to keep them offset when I can, if I remember. Thorn. This is what I was talking about. Started fishing. It's getting pretty damn late, but he's going to stay here until he's done. Oh great, now Larissa just started. She's going to be up very late. Oh well. In fact, I'll just cancel that. She'll probably be being sent out on that mission anyways. Though I probably should leave one back so they can do the call aid thing if I get attacked like I did last time. Looks like it'll have to be Sammy that stays home. That's a shame since he's one of my best guys to have out in the field. Guess that means we'll do Larissa. Wait for everyone to have breakfast. Yeah, it looks like we're good. Alright, so I'll take Larissa. Good, since she can do the hacking. Definitely want to take Squirrel. Paul. Biscotti. The cooking will fall behind a little bit. That's okay. Do I want to take both melees? No, I probably should leave one melee home. Sammy will stay home. Cornbread. Could take Al or Margarita. Take Margarita since she's got some range with that rifle. And she's a doctor. Looks like that pretty much fills the shuttle. Yeah, that'll work. Could even take Slicer along. But then I would need to bring some kibble. Can I see if they're fed here yet? I guess I've got space for kibble. No, I'll bring Slicer as well. Oh, no I will not. They weigh too much. Alright, we'll just use this. Let's go... hit up this one. We'll drop in the center. Hopefully I don't regret this. did we drop? Okay. So where's the loot? Am I missing something? I don't actually see anything of value here. Oh, pff. That's extremely inconvenient. Guess it's not too far. I can use my... Except for Paul. Paul doesn't have the jump pack. That's annoying. Alright, guys. Probably should have left Paul at home and brought someone else instead. I can have Larissa at least give Paul focus. That'll help him a little bit. Oh, that's right. That's for going to an entirely different land. I need to get Skip for her, because then I could just have her teleport Paul across. Oh well. For now, she will just have to give Paul some focus. That'll give him some speed. Help him get across a little more quickly. And then the others... I'll just have jump. So I suppose this episode has gone on for a little while. I will get everyone across the water and then take a short break and pick up on the next one. All right, be back in a bit.